Hello, all. It is your favorite sorcerer, Michael Hyson, aka Angelus, son of Abaddon. Tonight, I'd like to discuss Samhain. I'd like to discuss All Hallows Eve, and most importantly, the Halloween aspects. Okay, now Halloween is normally on the 31st of October, and most solstices or equinoxes are around the time of the 21st or 22nd of the month. Now, this is one of those rare type of equinoxes throughout the year. These are the one holiday throughout the year that a lot of individuals take place in. They like to make rites, they like to do rituals. Some even like to do pacts and make new deals with old demons or angelic beings that they've worked with. Okay. The Brotherhood of Satan refers to this as in the 13 laws of a Satanist. Okay. The 13 laws of the Brotherhood is what it's called. And you can actually look this up on Google. And I'm going to use my own terms for this. And it basically says to make sure once a year to set yourself aside so that you can renew your oath with Satanas and his demons. All right. Now, All Hallows Eve, which is a pagan and Wiccan holiday, Halloween, which is a Christian and mundane holiday, or that of Samhain, okay, which is the actual proper name for this particular event, takes place where you can actually do this. It is the time of the year when the veil between the realms is at its thinnest. All right. Now, what's interesting to note is it doesn't matter the location that you do it in, especially if you're a Satanist, a witch, warlock, necromancer, it does not matter. You could be in a cemetery, you could be out in the woods, say a nature trail. You can do it in your own personalized crypt, or, say, for an example, your own altar right there in your home. Okay, it really doesn't matter. If you own a property, you can literally go out back into the woods or, say, for example, the field, have a bonfire. Okay, have a bonfire and just call the corners, bring out the deitas, summon them through invocation or evocation, use herbalism, use alchemical practices, you know, do sigil magic, whatever. Give your offering, dedicate yourself again, and begin a new year. Okay. Now, utilize or can be employed, I should say, in this mannerism. The Temple of the Feminine Divine, I believe, has one this year. I haven't really associated myself with them for some time, namely because I find their practices to be watered down almost to the point of childlike. They're the type of group that will sit there and howl at the moon. If it's in the north, or the wolf is in the north, the owl's in the east. The fish is in the west, and you know the phoenix is in the south. Okay, they'll sit there and make the freaking noise. Okay, the wolf, oh, you know, the owl, hoo, hoo, that type of stuff. And they'll sit there, hold hands, but weave um, fig leaves and flowers into a thorn ring, which most pagans and Wiccans actually create. Okay, now a woman that I call a friend, I don't really commune with her that much. Not since I left Heathen TV. Um, Back during all that drama that was going on there with that group. Um, it was something that she had done. It was a video. She was creating her own pentagram. Okay. And I started thinking about this back then when she was actually doing this video. And it was kind of cool because of a vision that was given to me by Lucifer Morningstar, Phosphorus in ancient Greek, Apollo, the sun god, Soroth, the sun god, Inti, the sun god, Ra, the sun god. These are just names throughout the world. Okay. But still, it's pretty interesting to note how having this circle with a string of thorns wrapped around it and set ablaze. Okay, which is basically how I got the idea, what came to mind, and I ended up naming my order the Order of the Black Thorn in his image, in his honor. And I wanted it to be an educational type group. So having Sam Hain just around the corner is something that's very unique. Those of you who have some form of arts and crafts knowledge can go out and actually do something like this. It's something fun that you and the family can take part in. Okay. Utilize it as a symbol of renewing your faith, renewing your oath to those that you serve. If you are a hereditary family line of sorcerers and sorceresses, witches and warlocks, Bruja and Brujo, then this is something that the entire family can do. Now, if it's just some of the family that's into the left hand path, occultism, or that of pagan or Wiccan or even Druidism, you can utilize the 9 herbs. You can utilize this type of thing in a form of a pentacle, be it inverted or verted, depending on if you are a light worker or a black magician. Okay, it really doesn't matter the symbol, but the circle of power is what you're looking for. It is something that allows you through your magic to invoke and manifest something for the new year. Like, what is your goals for the new year? Okay. And this is something I learned while associating with the Temple of Feminine Divine and the Pagan Pride Association. Okay. Is you get that image in your head. Okay. You think about what you want to manifest for over the next year. It could be a new job or a better paying job. It could be maybe getting a girlfriend. It could be, becoming more stronger in your faith, becoming more knowledgeable of the practices that you do. It really doesn't matter what it is, but you got that image in your head and you got that will, that intent. You know what you want. Okay. The number one thing of the witch's creed, the witch's oath, the witch's pyramid, to know. To know means to will. Okay. To will it to happen. So therefore, to know it is to will it to happen. And you can actually apply that to this little symbol, okay, that you can do with twigs, branches, leaves. Certain leaves, can represent certain things. Fig leaves, fruition, okay. Utilize the oxygen of pine needles, okay. Maybe you have some kind of lung issue or breathing, issue. Perhaps it's something to do with your respiratory in general. Something like pine needles and branches that they're on, intertwined in this circle of power, is the exact same thing that you can utilize with that image, the intent, and then the willingness to manifest it over the next year. Okay, can be employed in this. And you can take it home and place it on your altar. Okay, charge it up, release it, send it off into the void with those that you serve, the spirits, the gods, the demigods, the daemons, the angels or the Ugan. It doesn't matter. Just send it off with them. Okay. Now, Halloween has been associated with a lot of different fiction. Everything from the time of the Devil's Hour, okay? The Witch's Oath, the Dance of the Witch, the creation of new witches. It has been associated with that of beings that can be destructive, like, say, the king, Samhain, okay? He was a demon king before Mephistopheles came into play. Okay. Back in the 16th century, it was said that Samhain would come and devour anything that moved, which is why they utilize masks. Okay. Masks is a good way to represent your will. It not only protects you and blends you in with others, especially in a coven setting, makes you all one and the same. Therefore, there's no awkwardness when you do what you got to do. But it was said that if without a mask, say blood on the face, hiding you from him, it would spare your life. Mephistopheles could be called around this time to make a pact with Satan or Shaitan, depending if it's Hebrew or Islamic, can be called forth as the witch father to partake in the rites of blasphemy or that of renunciation. Perhaps you're being formally introduced into a coven setting as an adept. Okay, moving from the neophyte or acolyte into adepthood. Okay, becoming one with a dedicated factor in your practice. Either way, Samhain is a very, very good day, time of the year to do this. And one of the factors that I would recommend is the devil's hour, be it between midnight and 4 a.m. Most demonic activities are known to happen between 1 and 4 a.m. Now, some people, like say E.A. Coetting, would tell you, oh, it's between 1 and 5 or 1 and 6 a.m. Well, when's the last time you saw a demon or a shadowy figure take place past 5 a.m. into the dawn or wee dawn hours? You know what I'm saying? Now, midnight is a perfect time to do this stuff because you're going between midnight and 1 a.m. 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. is considered to be the witch's hour. 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. is considered to be the devil's hour. Okay? Now, those who really have sought results have found that in these hours is the best time to work with demons, the best to work with the fallen angels. Okay? Now, some of the rules, some of the prospects is, can you work with an angel and a demon at the same time? The answer is no. Okay? Because it's basically canceling itself out. And this is why. One, you have the celestial energy, which is more potent. It's like putting, how should I say this? It's like putting nitro with glycerin. You're going to have a type moment. Okay? Put gunpowder next to a fire, you're going to have a little firework display. Okay? Same exact thing is going to happen when working with a daemon. Okay? This is why in Greek mythology they have the word daemon compared to that of coco daemon. All right? The coco daemon is said to be baneful or harmful to the practitioner, whereas the daemon itself is beneficial. But when you look at this in a very realistic way, no matter if you're working with the hierarchy, which is both angelics and demons, okay, the demon lords, those who are most loyal to the Lord of the Underworld, were given positions of rank and authority, okay? These individuals would be classified as beneficial to the practitioner. So going forth and working with these beings for this night, the night of Samhain or Halloween, All Hallows Eve, even the Day of the Dead. Okay, Devil's Night, very good time of the year to have the petition ready and to put forth through ritual, be it a invocation or an evocation. Perhaps you're just lighting all black candles in an attempt to put into through the void your will, your manifestation. Okay, working with the demons. Or if you're working with red candles, you're working your desire, your need, your passion. Okay, pink candles, obviously, love, compassion, stuff like that. White is always purity. Okay, so knowing what you're going for, knowing is half the battle. Okay, so knowing what you need, where you are now, and where you want to be, okay, is a very good thing. For right now, I have something that I need to work on. So I'm going to utilize this. I'm going to petition it. I'm going to go to these beings and I'm going to put these on the altar and I'm going to put it in their hands and say, please manifest this in my life. I'm going to give an offering. I'm going to give my petition. I'm going to summon them to the point where I'm not going to sit there and keep them waiting. I'm not going to be disrespectful to them because I'm going to wait until when they appear, I'm going to put the petition forth immediately. I'm going to have the proper offering, okay? And I'm going to give back as a gift. Why? Because it's something that you need to do when working with any being or spirit, any form of entity. Offerings and gifts are always a good thing when working with them. So know what you're working with. What tools are you going to need? Are you going to write it down to burn? Are you going to burn it in a burn pot and send it to them that way? Or are you just going to verbally speak it? You see, to know is half the battle. From there, it is very, very simplistic to meditate, to concentrate and focus your mind solely on that intent. So you're going from to know to will, okay, to go into the other three. Because once you get to the go, to go forth, that right there is where you want to be. Start with to know and then to go forth. So you got to be marking those things off, much like a timeline. Okay, think of it this way: point A, point D. What are the steps that you need to do to get from where you are today to where you want to be 5 years down the line? You used to do this stuff in school, high school, elementary school, middle school. They always put these tests and these things, these forth, so that you as the individual can understand, okay, this is where I am, this is where I want to be, what steps would I take to make it happen? Okay. Number one, if you want to go become a cop, well, for one, you got to go to the precinct. You got to get a pledge. Okay. Once you get the pledge, then you can go off and go to school, learning the laws, getting the training. It's the same thing in just about every tradition. You need the training. You need to know how you're going to get there and follow the steps, step by step, to get there. That is something that I would also recommend to you. Okay. But I would also choose the being that would get you there. For an example, if you wanted to be prosperous, say, let's say knowledge wise, okay, go through Humat, Aguilaret. Aguilaret is the keeper of the Infernal Library. Okay, he's the one that watches over that. Humat or Humet, depending on the grimoire, refers to him as being the infernal librarian that would bring you the said text. Okay, whatever grimoire, whatever scripture book that's in the infernal library, he can bring it to you. Okay, exactly. Ilker's even her, even the lady, exactly. And it's funny because a lot of people don't consider the gods themselves. Doesn't matter if it's demons, angels, even the 13 blight lords. It could be the Djinn, the Ugan, whatever tradition that you follow. Look at your deitas. Look at the gods. What do they represent? Are their needs lining up with yours? And are your needs aligning with theirs? Okay? For an example, Sarath, the sun god, keeper of the mysterious number 666, the mysteries of magic. Okay? Go with, say, for an example, let's go with Freya or Loki, the trickster, the mother of mystics. Hecate, goddess of witchcraft, ghosts, the underworld, justice. If you're seeking justice, go with her. If you're looking for purity and trying to ascend or descend the planes to find your most basic nature, you could always go with, say, the same route that Astarte, Persephone, Proserpine, or even Erishkigal in Anna took through the levels of hell. Okay? But it comes down to your intent in what you're looking to do. And that's the thing. Number one, look at your intent, look at your dietas, and look at what you're seeking to seek out. Those are the three main things that I would recommend to you, with the fourth, taking those steps. Put it on paper. This is where I am. This is where I want to be. What steps can I make to make it happen? Okay? Meditation is a very good thing. Marcus Aurelius wrote a book called Meditations. Meditation. Okay? To quote Antonio Banderas from Acts of Vengeance, the movie, shut the fuck up and make it happen. Plain and simple. And you gotta love Antonio Banderas. You know, for a little dude, he's actually quite smart. I look at what he's accomplished in his career, and it's like, yeah, I could have gone that route. But you know what? I like who I am and where I'm going. But yeah, when it comes to Samhain, there's a lot of things that you can do. Because the veil is so thin, it's the best time to do it. Now, number one, the 31st is not the actual day of Samhain. It's actually a Christian day. You want to go back a couple of days, namely the 28th, because that's the actual pagan holiday of Samhain. Most people don't realize that. All right. So I hope this has been intellectual. I hope it's been educational. I hope I've given you some ideas, things to think about that will help you understand the time of the year and what can be done during that time of the year, to who you can use or go to for aid in this matter. Now, remember this before I leave is number one, what you do in the spiritual world manifests in reality. Spiritual world, reality, hand in hand. If you want to destroy something in reality, you must first weaken it in the spiritual or astral realm. Same thing applies with any given will, desire, or intent. Do it in the spiritual world or the astral realm, and it will be made manifest here. All right? With that said, have a good night, and until next time.